Criminal justice system. What is the sequence of events in the criminal justice system? Criminal justice system of United States. Okay. There are 5 sections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. Entry into the system. 2. Prosecution and pre-trial services. What is prosecution? Istaghasa. The party by whom criminal proceedings are instituted or conducted. Prosecution, the party by whom criminal proceedings are instituted or conducted, like police. Police is the prosecuting agency. Okay, the third section is adjudication. Adjudication. Adalati hukum. Adjudication. What is adjudication? A judicial decision or sentence. A judicial decision or sentence. The fourth process, sentencing and sanctions. Sentencing and sanctions. What is sentencing? One formally pronounced by a court or judge in a criminal proceedings and specifying the punishment to be inflicted upon the convict. One more time. What is sentencing? One formally pronounced by a court or judge in a criminal proceeding and specifying the punishment to be inflicted upon the convict. The fifth part is correction. What is correction? The treatment and rehabilitation of offenders through a program involving penal custody, parole, and probation. One more time. What is correction? The treatment and rehabilitation of offenders through a program involving penal custody, parole, and probation. What is probation? The action of suspending the sentence of a convicted offender and giving the offender freedom during good behavior under the supervision of a probation officer. What is probation? The action of suspending the sentence of a convicted offender and giving the offender freedom during good behavior under the supervision of a probation officer. What is parole? A conditional release of a prisoner serving an intermediate or unexpired sentence. What is parole? A conditional release of a prisoner serving an indeterminate or unexpired sentence. Indeterminate or unexpired sentence. A conditional release of a prisoner. This is parole. There are 5 parts. Number 1, entry into the system. Number 2, prosecution and pre-trial services. Number 3, adjudication. Number 4, sentencing and sanctions. Number 5, corrections. Events in the criminal justice system. 5 sections, 5 parts. Start from the beginning. Crime. Entry into the system. 1. Crime. Crime happened. Either reported and observed crime or not. If not, then it is not entered into the system. If it is reported and observed crime, then investigation starts. In investigation, either it is unsolved or not arrested. Unsolved or not arrested. If investigation is continue, arrested. If arrested, either it is released without prosecution. If it is not released, then if it is a juvenile, a small child under the age of 16 or 15, in some countries 18, in some countries 12, if it is a juvenile, then prosecution as a juvenile, police juvenile unit, it is shifted into police juvenile unit. Either it is released or diverted, or it is shifted to non-police referrals. What are non-police referrals? These are the NGOs, institutions from where the deviant behavior, what you call rehabilitated, or to recorrect it. It deals with the deviant behaviors. Okay, move on. Arrested, charges filed. After arrest, charges are filed. In charges, released without prosecution. Maybe it released without prosecution. If it is not, then it shifted into hearing. In hearing, released or diverted. Or in hearing, diversion by law enforcement, prosecutor or court. In hearing, charges filed, prosecution agency, diversion by law enforcement, prosecutor or court, it will out of system. It will go out of system. If not, formal juvenile or youthful offender court processing, informal processing diversions, waive to criminal court back, or adjudication. What is adjudication? A judicial decision or sentence. To whom? To juvenile offenders. Either released or disposition. Disposition on probation or other non-residential disposition, or disposition, revocation. What is revocation? Revocation, mansukh karna, to call back. After checking in probation, he called back residential placement, after care, and to become deviant behavior to normal behavior out of system. If it is not, then again call back, revocate, then go, move it to out of system after rehabilitation. Okay, then initial appearance after charges filed. These are the juvenile sections. Now we come to initial appearance. Initial appearance in court. Charges dropped or dismissed. In court, either these are the charges dropped or dismissed. If charges are not dropped or not dismissed, then the court trial, either it is misdemeanor or felony. If it is misdemeanor, what is misdemeanor? Misdemeanor, a crime less serious than a felony. A crime less serious than a felony. Misdemeanors are traffic violations or misdemeanor. Felonies, for what is felony? Grave crime like rape, murder. Okay, come to misdemeanor. In court hearing, initial appearance, if it is misdemeanor, informations gathered. Arraignment. What is arraignment? To call a defendant before a court to answer. Muqaddama karna. Arraignment. To call a defendant. Come and explain what happened. Either charges dismissed, if it is not, guilty plea, or if it is not, come to the trial. He moved to the trial. In trial, either he is acquitted, free to go, or either it is convicted. If it is convicted, then it goes into sentencing. What is sentencing? One formally pronounced by a court or judge in a criminal proceeding and specifying the punishment to be inflicted upon the convict. Sentencing. In sentencing, either it is it moved to the jail or probation. If it moved to the probation, he will rehabilitate and go out of system in the public, in the society. If it is not rehabilitated in probation, then revocation again to the jail, and after completing its imprisonment, he come outside of the jail or in the public or in citizens. Acha. Initial appearance, misdemeanor, preliminary hearing. In initial appearance, court and preliminary court proceeding starts. Charges either disposed or dropped. If not, bail or detention hearing. If the matter goes on, judge has discretionary powers to bail or move it to detention hearing. If it is in the crimes of felonies, then information gathered or grand jury worked either to refusal to indict, say no, this man is free, no, it is not inducted in this. If it is inducted, then the arraignment. Mansukh muqaddama karna. Come on, come, face the charges. What you have done wrong, come on, face it. Arraignments. Charges either dismissed. If it is not dismissed, then come into the trial. Guilty plea. If you are right in the charges or guilty plea discussions, then either you acquitted. If you are not acquitted, then you will convicted. If the conviction is happened, then the court sentencing that criminals in after sentencing has the right to appeal. If it is not appealing, okay, fine, they will go either on probation or intermediate sanctions. In probation, in sentencing, the process of correction is starting. So it moves to the revocation, rehabilitation, Habeas Corpus, pardon, clemency, capital punishment, and after rehabilitation and reformation, the criminal, misdemeanor, felony moved to the society back again after rehabilitation. Let's take an all overlook and make a summary. Entry into the system, crime happened, arrest is the end point of entry into the system. After arrest, prosecution and pre-trial service of police started. These are the prosecution of police and work. Adjudication is the decision making of is the working and procedure of courts. Prosecution is the police work. Adjudication is the court proceedings. And sentencing and sections, court decided what they have to do. Either it is sentencing or sanctions or released. This is in this period. Then the last part is correction. After the decision of courts, the process of correction starts. In correction, the purpose of correction is to rehabilitate and reform the citizen to go back to the society, to become a normal man, to obey the laws of the land. This is the sequence of events in the criminal justice system. It's a very beautiful chart that explains criminal justice system in depth, in series, in chapters, in portions, in parts. Source: adapted from The Challenge of Crime in a Free Society, President's Commission on Law Enforcement and Administration of Justice 1967. This revision, a result of the symposium on 30th anniversary of the President's Commission, was prepared by the Bureau of Justice Statistics in 1997. It's a very beautiful chart. It explains and predicts the picture of criminal justice system very beautifully. It explains all the components one by one. Look, crime, entry into the system, prosecution, police work, adjudication, court work, and the fourth part is correction, the imprisonment. It's a very beautiful explanation. Thank you so much.